but it can't really do that much damage, really, to anything that doesn't get super effective against it. So I know he doesn't run Shadow Ball. Now I can switch my Metagross completely safe. I don't have to worry about any sort of issue from Sylveon. So I can more just be happy about leaving this thing in. I don't have to protect or anything about that. So I go straight for Zen Headbutt to try to get some damage, and if he switches... Yeah, he switched into Tomahawk. I expected Pyro, but this worked fine because Zen Headbutt does the most damage against Pyro, and it does fantastic damage against Tomahawk because Tomahawk's weak to it. So, my over-predicting really wasn't over-predicting, but it was just predicting. But I predicted this to come in, and Tomahawk came in, and I got a bonus, so that was happy for me. Anyway, so I switched back into my Mandibuzz as it's my only option in switching in Metagross. Tomahawk doesn't want to get burned, and Metagross doesn't want to have fire hit him. And so I switched in my Mandibuzz, and I didn't really need it anymore. It was useful once, but I don't really need it anymore. And it surprisingly took little damage from the Lava Plume. So I was able to come in here, and the burn wasn't enough to KO me. And so I go straight for a Roost. And since I'm faster than Pyro, I was able to get it up. And with that up, he can't KO me. So he goes for a Stealth Rock again, expecting a switch. I don't know what he was doing with that. Anyways, I now can Roost one more time and get my health back up. He's gonna switch into Sylveon, and I'm gonna get one more Roost up, which is very much needed. And I want to get a Defog off, and I do that. That's what I was happy about, is that he has Sylveon. He expected to get a KO on the Typer Voice. He doesn't. I got the Defog off, got rid of the Stealth Rocks on my side, which was very important. And he's now going to go for a Heal Bell. I really don't think it was that important, but oh well, he wanted to do that. So I got Toxic up off, which is fantastic. I got Rocks off my side and Toxic his Cleric, which is fantastic. However, he gets the KO and is just within the range to burn me to death. And so my Metagross goes down, and I bring in my Metagross. Yeah, I bring in my Metagross, and with this, I go straight for a Meteor Mash, I think? Yeah, I go for a Meteor Mash. Right now, I go for Meteor Mash, and I was just expecting him to switch immediately, and I just wanted to get a boost, but oh well. So I go for a Zen Headbutt in this next turn, because I know he's going to switch. He's guaranteed to switch, and 30% damage is probably the best. I think if I can wear down Pyroke and Colossal, I'll be good to go. So I go straight for a Zen Headbutt, and I miss, which is ridiculous, and just made me freaking angry. But when I did this battle, I was like, I'm going to throw my laptop out the window. And yeah, I said it right there. But yeah, it was just ridiculous. So I had to switch out immediately, and I went into my Tomahawk, who I didn't want to switch in because of the chance of burn, but I luckily didn't get that burn. And so I can switch in Tomahawk, and he has no choice because I have a super effective stab on Pyro that can cause flinches. So I would expect to switch, and so I double switch afterwards into my Plasmatic, who can still do damage to Pyro if he decides to stay in, and that gave me a good situation. I'm probably going to switch into Sylveon. Right now, Plasmata is a fantastic matchup. He has to pull a double switch or protect. I think he protects. But yeah, he double switches into Colossal, who takes another Sludge Wave, and although this is very minimal damage, this is when I start wearing down his Colossal, which is very important for this, because with this Colossal gone, Plasmata destroys his team. But because Colossal, I can't do anything to his team, so I have to switch back into Tomahawk, who again can take anything from this, and he keeps going for Earthquake, which I feel like is something that you predict eventually. I always switch back into Tomahawk, but he's playing it safe. If I was to stay in with Plasmata, predicting that he'd hit my Tomahawk, I would get a kill, and I would get a kill. Just going for that Earthquake I don't get. Anyways, this for knockoff, and hits my Metagross, and because I'm Mega, it doesn't KO me, but it's still really a lot of damage, and I was just going to do that. I'm just going to sack my Metagross at this point, and I went for Ice Punch just in case he stayed in. Try to get a Sucker Punch, but he didn't. Not Sucker Punch, knockoff again, or Crunch. But anyway, so I stayed and went for Ice Punch, and I froze his Pyroke, which is hilarious. And I expected him to go for Lava Plume to get rid of the freeze, but he doesn't, which was really confusing to me. So, I don't know why he did that. I don't know. So I went for Protect just to be safe, and switching out, knowing that he's frozen now, he's probably not going to use Lava Plume. I switched back into Plasmata, who can definitely KO this thing. And so he's going to go back into his Colossal to take Plasmata's Sludge Wave, which otherwise would eradicate the rest of his team. And that slowly lets me wear down his Colossal. Now he is in 3-hit KO range from my Sludge Wave. At 41%, Sludge Wave still can KO this thing. And so he goes for Pursuit, which is a smart move in this case. But now I know he does not have Sucker Punch, because you don't usually run Knockoff, Sucker Punch, and Pursuit on Colossal. Usually you run either Rapid Spin, U-Turn, and some other move on him. And so, since I know that now, so that's a very good knowledge for me for my team. And so I switch into Tomahawk again. He's gonna bring Sylveon, try to KO me. I air slash like an idiot. At this point, this is just ridiculous. I already know what the Sylveon set is. I don't need to go for another air slash. I just was stupid and I decided to do that. So I lost a lot of momentum there, and now he unfreezes my team and gets rid of his Toxic on his Sylveon, which is very irritating. And I could have kept the status on his team if I would have just not air slashed like an idiot. Anyways, so I stayed in here. I went for a Sludge Wave. At this point, I should have not wasted that and gone for a Discharge, but I was too worried that he could switch right away. So I'm going straight to Sludge Wave, just playing it safe. He switches into his Colossal now. I get a Sludge Wave off again. It's not going to do that much damage, only about 20%. But after this turn, I know I can win the game. Because at this point, as long as I have at least 4 Sludge Waves, I can beat this team. And at the point, I think I had like 6. So I was still fine. So, switching Tomahawk, Colossal can't do anything to it. And he's going to switch back out into his Sylveon, in which I then switch back out into my Plasmanta. Or is it Metagross? I can't remember who I switched into. It's Plasmanta or Metagross? Can't remember which one. Metagross. Yeah, I'm just going to sack my Metagross. I let it take a knockoff before, but I'm not actually going to sack it now. I'm just going to spam Meteor Mash, I think. Is that what I do? Yeah, I think I spam Meteor Mash trying to get a boost. Because if I get a boost, then I can do some extra damage and make the game faster, but I never got the boost. So I just went for a Zen Headbutt now. Try to get the maximum amount of damage I can do on Pyro, because it is quite a bulky thing. If my Plasmana goes down to an unpredicted Psyshock or something doesn't work out nicely, and say my Sludge Wave doesn't KO Colossal and he gets an Earthquake off on me, I wanted to make sure Pyro could be damaged enough that Tomahawk has a chance against him. So I just went for a Zen Headbutt and I Meteor Mash, and then I switched back my Plasmana. Plasmana now has a chance to win because it goes for a Sludge Wave and I don't get screwed, and I get a very nice regular amount of damage, and I'm able to take out his Colossal. And with the Colossal gone, the game is hugely turned in my favor, and no longer is he able to switch into Sludge Waves because Sludge Waves completely obliterate his team. Sylveon now comes in and tries to stall out my Sludge Waves. However, at this point, I remember I said I needed 4, I had 6. So after this waste of Sludge Wave, I have 5, and that's still enough to KO this game. And so he now either has to switch or take a Sludge Wave. And now at this point, you can see that I have to 3-hit KO him. But I got the Poison, which is fantastic for me. And see, his Hyper Voice, as he's a Cleric set, can't do very much damage to me. And since that's the only attacking move he runs, he's stuck using it. And thanks to the Poison, I have him in 2-hit KO range, which is fantastic. And now expecting him to go straight for a Wish to save his ass, I went for Taunt. And that was the ending thing, because at this point, he can't heal himself or get a Wish off. So he's stuck and has to switch that or try to hit me, which does nothing. So he has to switch into Pyroke, and Pyroke at this point is too weak to take any Sludge Wave, and it's eliminated immediately. Brings in his next thing, and at this point I win. He knows he's lost, and he forfeits. And that was the battle, and it was really good, and I really thought this was a great battle. It took forever, but great battle. So yeah, so that was video, and I hope you liked it, and leave your comments and like, and until next time, guys, rock your life.